Unlocking this one chord form will literally add a minimum of 72 new chords to your chord vocabulary. Now, I know what you're probably saying, hey Eric, I've tried bar chords before, I can't play them. Well, number one, that's not true. Number two, I'm literally going to show you the reason why you're having difficulty with them. So the one chord shape that we need to get down, which again opens us up for 72 new chord forms, is the F major chord. So the reason that people have issues with this is because they're not focusing their fingers on the correct portion of the neck. They feel like they are, but again, if they're not getting the result, they're not doing that, right? So here's what we need to do. First off, we're barring, meaning our first finger is going across all the notes like this, all the strings. And again, it allows us to move these chords up and down the fretboard, right? For every chord form, we have 12 iterations of that, or 12 different keys. So basically, this will allow us 6 chord forms times 12 is 72. Those chord forms, we're not going to go over those chord forms. I might go over them real quickly, but if you want diagrams for those, then you can go to my blog. Otherwise, the main part of this is to show you how to actually get that one chord, because again, 72 chords. Here we go. The problem that when people are approaching this bar chord is they leave a slight arch to their finger. It's just a very natural thing. I mean, if you just hold your hand, there's always going to be like a slight arch here. So the secret weapon, if you will, is to hyperextend that first finger. So what I mean by that is if you have this curve here, which naturally happens, right, with your finger, is to take that center part of your finger and actually push it out to where the top of your finger is going slightly backwards, okay? And so some of you, that's going to feel a little bit awkward at first until it doesn't, because, you know, whatever you do in repetition, it will start feeling more natural. So the number one thing that we want to be able to do here is across all of these strings, we want to be able to do that, okay? So that's the first thing that I want you to do, is I want you to lay your first finger across the 6th string and then down to the 1st string, okay? Now, if it's easier, I'm gonna tell you one little trick that you can do is you can put the capo down, say like on the 3rd fret or even the 5th fret, and try this. It's gonna press the strings down. It's gonna make it easier so that you can conceptualize it and get this and realize, oh, I can play bar chords, hence moving forward, okay? So it's a little cheat, which is okay. You're not gonna use the capo all the time, but it's something that will help, okay? So whether you're doing it up here, doing it down here, doing it up here with the capo, putting it at the 3rd or 5th fret, great. Or if you don't have a capo and you want to try it down here, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but the point is the capo would press the strings down, make it a little bit easier. In either case, you're doing the same motion, you're just not having to press down as hard, okay? Again, we're hyperextending that finger. So if you're doing this, this is the problem, is that you've got a little bit of a gap here, okay? So you've got to hyperextend that. Also, using the ridge of your finger. If you notice, this part of your finger is a little bit more smushy as opposed to this part, the ridge of your finger. So laying your finger slightly sideways, okay, which is takes a little getting used to. You got to tuck that elbow in, okay? It's all going to feel awkward at first. If you think you're going to do this, it's just going to feel great and be like, oh, I get it right away. It's not. So if it feels awkward, congratulations, you're breathing, okay? That's all that means. Everybody runs into this and it feels awkward at first. So use the side of your finger, the ridge. Get it right there. Get as close to the fret as possible. So you're doing 3 different things now that are really going to help with your bar chords. You're using the ridge, which is harder. You're getting closer up to the fret. And also using the side of your finger is going to create a straighter edge as opposed to using this flat part of your finger. If you're using the flat part of your finger, or the front part, the smushier part, if you will, hyperextending that finger is going to help. Any combination of that in order to get the chord out is what you want to do. There's no perfect way to do this. There's what works best for you, but these are practices that pro guitar players use all the time in order to play nice, clean bar chords, okay? So what you're going for is this, is you want all those notes to be clear no mutes like this. If you got that, you want to hyper-focus on that specific area. Give it more pressure, think more on the side, tuck that elbow in, hyperextend, whatever it takes. Now again, it's going to be awkward at first, but you're going to get this with repetition because you're going to have these little aha moments where you're like, oh, boom, got it. Okay, great. And it's mainly this section here, like on the 5th, 4th, even the 3rd string are usually the problems. The 6th string is usually not, you're playing that with your fingertip. And usually the 1st and 2nd string, not so much of an issue. But again, this is the one thing that's usually keeping people back from playing the bar chord. Now, good news, even if you have difficulty on that 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings, in order to play the F chord, you're actually fretting those notes, okay? You're actually going to fret those, meaning you could be a little bit lax here, but you don't want to be. Reason being is we're not going to be able to play those 72 chords if you can't get this shape down with that nice straight edge right here, okay? One other thing that's extremely important, and the original Effing F chord video that I did, I talked about this. It's really important that you don't just try to play all 6 strings right away. Play 2 strings, then 3 strings, then 4 strings, and so on and so forth. Reason being is it's going to tell you exactly what's wrong with the chord, and then you can go and fix it. So for instance, once you've got this down, you can concentrate on that, and you're like, okay, I got that. Then we want to start bringing in these other fingers. Then what I want you to do is either starting from the 6th string or starting from the 1st string, you want to just play 2 notes at a time, and then move to the other 2 strings. And so on and so forth. Because if you get a sound like this, you got that buzzing, you want to go, man, something's not right there. Readjust your hand. You'll be creating a habit by adjusting. And that's how we learn to play guitar with everything, right? It's just a series of, that's not right. Okay, here's the correction. Okay, boom, I built a neural path. Now I can do it very quickly. Okay, so you do that, go through 2 strings at a time. Then once you get that, you want to do 3 strings at a time. So what this hyper focus is going to do is tell you exactly what's wrong with the chord, where you need to fix it, and then eventually we want to get 3 notes out at a time. And then 4. And so on and so forth. Once you get this, now friends, listen, this is the hard part. Understanding the forms is super easy. For the 72 chords, you can check out the blog that I have for you because I wanted to make this video as short as possible and as precise and succinct as possible so that you can get this part, because this is the problem, right? I've got other bar chord videos for you, my friend. I'm here for you. If I can help in any way, please let me know. I'm passionate about helping my students. Leave your comments below, thumbs up and all that good stuff. Thanks so much for watching.